It's my pleasure this morning to interview and introduce you to AnteoTech's new CEO and Managing Director, David Radford. David, welcome.
Thank you, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, David, you're 3 weeks into your tenure at AnteoTech. Going through your CV, you have an interesting background career-wise, spanning several different biotech sectors internationally and here in Australia. What first attracted you to AnteoTech and inspired you to take on the position of CEO?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Let me give you a bit of background about myself to perhaps set the scene and explain my skills. I've made a career out of commercializing technologies and building businesses through the execution of strategic plans that ultimately drive profitable growth, and obviously in a publicly listed entity, shareholder value. So if you wanted to pigeonhole me, I am a growth-focused CEO. When I first started talking to AnteoTech, I had certain criteria that I use in evaluating an opportunity. Firstly, what is the value proposition that the products of the company offer? Are they differentiated products? What is the market opportunity? And equally as importantly, who's on the board of directors? So as I assess the AnteoTech opportunity, it's clear that the market opportunity is enormous, whether you look at the point of care technology or you look at the rapidly developing battery market. Point of care technology, for example, going to be a $12 billion market by 2027. The batteries, no clear leader in that sector. Great opportunities for the unique and proprietary technology that we have at AnteoTech. As I look at the board of directors, it's a world-class board of directors, and the board is absolutely committed to building a commercializing or an entity that's capable of commercializing this technology. I looked at that, I looked at the opportunities, and then I did a bit of research on the company in a broader fashion. And if you look at the capabilities of the team, we have 42 employees, of whom 22 have PhD or master's equivalent. So we have more firepower in the organization than your average university department. So when you wrap up all of those components and the fact that it is an opportunity to commercialize some unique and proprietary Australian technology, it got me very excited, and obviously here I am today. And I'm absolutely energized by the last couple of weeks I've had here.
So the company has had some changes in leadership recently, notwithstanding your recent appointment. Now, obviously acknowledging that you've only been with AnteoTech for 3 weeks, could you talk to your immediate priorities and the opportunities, but also the vision that you have for the company?
Sure. And Alex, you're right. I mean, it's a very short tenure. I have set about in this couple of weeks meeting everybody within the organization and really understanding the capabilities that we have, areas that we can focus on for improvement, and as a result of that, who's who in the zoo. If I look at my immediate priorities, it's the delivery of the previously communicated deliverables. My philosophy is that as the CEO of the business, I am the custodian of the shareholders' investment, and what they want is speed to market and targeted expenditures that add value to their investment. So for me, the primary objective in the short term is delivering to the commitments that have previously been made by the organization. As I look to the next short-term goal, we have to build a business that is capable of commercializing the technology. And AnteoTech's been a wonderful R&D focused business over the years. We now have to take that next step and move to a marketing-led, sales-driven business. That's going to require us to do things differently. It's going to require us to do things within vertical structures that focus on commercialization, focus on operational effectiveness, and use the unique and proprietary technology we have in the innovation team to be the catalyst for those outcomes. As I look at the vision for the business, it's very early for me to say categorically what the vision will be. But what I would say is a couple of things. One, as I've gone through the business and I've understood the capabilities of the team we have, I am developing very quickly an executive leadership team that have expertise in commercialization coupled with research. So we have a very high caliber group of people that will be capable of taking the business to the next level. What is even more exciting is as I look at some of the junior leaders within the business, the capabilities here is boundaryless. I mean, we have some wonderful people that have got some great ideas, great experience, and are really wanting to be part of the growth of the business. So what I intend to do with the visioning and setting the mission is have a workshop with the executive leadership team and that next level down of developing leaders such that we set a vision that stands us in good stead for the next 3 years. Without ignoring the question, I think it's important for the shareholders to understand my initial aspirations for the business. Firstly, I want to see us generating real and meaningful revenues from the technologies we have today. Secondly, I want to see AnteoTech in a similar vein to Intel, the Intel chips within a computer. We've all heard of Intel Inside. As I look at the battery work and the great work that Manuel and his team are doing, I want us to have AnteoX inside. I want it to become a brand. I want it to become a quality indicator for people as they look at batteries, that they have a leading technology in there. And again, that's applicable also to the point of care technologies. If we have Anteo technology inside, it will give customers the confidence that this is a market leading product. As I look at the company we have, I want to become an employer of choice. I want young graduates to be banging on the doors with their resumes saying, we want to join you. For us to achieve that goal, we have to be a company that consistently delivers on our stated objectives, on time and on budget. That will develop the credibility of the business. I want us to be a multicultural business. It is a fantastic variety of skills and nationalities that we have already, but I want us to become even better as we look at embracing diversity and looking at moving the company forward. We will have clearly communicated objectives and deliverables with individual accountability for the delivery. So there will be absolute clarity on who is responsible for delivering what and by when. And this, to me, is part of what makes a business great, when we have empowered employees that know exactly what is required and are all committed to the standard vision. So that's where I'm up to after, I think it's 2.5 weeks, not 3, but it's been a short journey and a very exciting one. So I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, David. Now, you mentioned communications there. When it comes to communicating and engaging with shareholders, broadly speaking, what's your approach?
Sure. And look, I think communication, I'd like to break into a couple of segments. Internally, as I mentioned, we want empowered employees that are working to specific outputs and KPIs. What has served me very well throughout my career has been the use of SMART objectives: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, tough, and time-based. Again, the clarity of communication and the clarity of intent is critical here. The next area of communication I want to address is the website. The website as currently stands, and as I was going through my due diligence, quite frankly, I found it confusing and difficult to use. It was not intuitive. The team has been working very aggressively on designing a website with a look and feel of what we want to become. And this will become our major platform for communication of general news and obviously ASX announcements, but we will be dealing with those as well on the ASX platform. If I look at the shareholder communications, we have a statutory 7 communications per year, which will be focused upon the deliverables that we have communicated to our shareholders. Anything that the company views as material, of course, will be released at the first possible opportunity. But what we have to be acutely aware of as we move to a commercial footing, there is going to be a lot of information that is commercial in confidence that I don't want to be signaling to potential partners or potential competitors. And we will not be giving blanket communications out. If I give an example, perhaps, if we are in the research team lodging patents, patent lodgement in and of itself is not a material development. Patent being awarded, maybe, because that will influence shareholders' decision to invest. So business as usual will really be within the company. Anything that is appropriate from a materiality perspective will, of course, be communicated immediately. But what I would ask shareholders to respect is that as we embark upon this journey, we have the company is going to be flat chat, moving quickly and absolutely focused on deliverables. And I'm going to ask shareholders today and also at the AGM to respect the fact that no news is good news. We will obviously let shareholders know of anything that is good or bad and material in nature. So please respect the no news is good news mantra. We will communicate appropriately, and you will absolutely know how we are progressing against our predetermined objectives and where we are going as a company. So that's my intent as we move forward, Alex.
So David, on the topic of communications, this morning you released the quarterly business update. Now, for those who haven't had a chance to look at it, it was released about 15-20 minutes before the webinar began, so you can access it via the handouts section in the GoToWebinar control panel. But David, could you just provide a brief summary of the quarter?
Yes. And look, it's absolutely tremendous to be coming into an organisation such as AnteoTech that is delivering on its commitments that it's made. If you look at the major projects that are identified at the beginning of the quarterly, the shareholders will see that the company is on track for the deliverables. Now that is quite outstanding when you consider the change that the company has been through. Change of director, change of CEO. So what this tells me is that we have a solid team beginning to deliver the right deliverables on time. So I think that's the first thing I would say about the quarterly. The other thing is we've focused upon the outcome of the Melbourne COVID study. That is an exceptional outcome that we have, and has been very well received as we've had discussions with our potential distribution partners in Europe. And I think that is a very good, very strong proof of concept that the company has some great technology. And that signal should be taken as such by our investors. Some of the other exciting stuff we've got going on is with Manuel and his team in the energy team. Great outcomes there. You'll see that we're achieving some excellent cycle times with high silicone anodes. This is incredible technology that really can move into multiple areas, multiple market segments. At this stage, it's really research and development, but it is all headed in absolutely the right direction. And I'm pleased to announce here that Manuel has come back from some international visits with potential partners. And look, we are getting good traction with them, although there is nothing material to announce at this stage. But the technology is being well recognized for what it offers and the potential in the market.
Thanks, David. Now, that's the most recent news from the company perspective, but I'd like to delve back into your background if I can. How have your experiences shaped who you are as a CEO and business leader, and how will that translate to a successful tenure at AnteoTech?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Look, I've had I've had the benefit of some great mentors and some great senior leadership training in companies such as Brambles, General Electric, and look, some of the mantras that I live by. One of my managers, who I keep in regular touch with, his philosophy was very much surround yourself with a high-performing team, set clear objectives, give them accountability and trust in them to deliver. And he said, if you have the right people doing the right things in the right culture, you will achieve incredible results. And look, I've been very lucky with the teams I've built over the years. I have had some outstanding results attributed to the team. And what I really like about the AnteoTech team is that we have people here that have not been in their right roles, but have incredible ability to deliver. And by moving them into the right opportunity, we will create that right environment and that right culture to perform. The other key message that has driven my career and the way I lead as a business leader is one of speed. Speed is critical in technology companies such as AnteoTech. We can't be sitting here for 2 years waiting to get everything perfect. We have to move with speed, with agility, but with focus and with knowledge. So we need to use data to drive our decisions, and then we need to drive hard for the commercial outcomes. And if I combine those two mantras to my career, I have been very successful in combining those. And it's been part of the messaging that I've been giving to these new leadership team potential developments. So look, I'm excited. I believe AnteoTech is absolutely right for this culture change from research and development to marketing-led, sales-driven. I have soon to be announced a wonderful executive leadership team. They bring experience, they bring stability, and they bring great knowledge to what we want to achieve. But just as exciting is, in the last 2.5 weeks, the energy and the passion that exists within this business and the desire to make it successful. If we can bottle and sell half of that, we will be wildly successful.
So, David, before we wrap up, were there any final remarks that you wanted to leave us with?
Look, I think Alex, I've explained that we are moving to a marketing-led organisation. I am very proud of the team that I have inherited. I think it is a tremendous team with great capabilities. We just need to start doing the right things in a timely fashion, on time, on budget, and realise that every dollar we spend is a shareholder dollar that we have to get a return on. That is part of the culture that we are going to develop. And look, I'm very excited about the future opportunity, and I'd like to thank shareholders for their continued support. I'm looking forward to meeting many at the AGM on the 17th of November, and we are absolutely committed to making a success of this. So thank you very, very much for the opportunity to introduce myself and give a bit of my philosophy.
Fantastic. Well, look, that concludes our session today. A replay of this interview will be available on AnteoTech social media platforms later today. David, before I let you go, did you want to expand on anything else with any final comments?
I think I've said enough today. Thanks, Alex. So thank you for the opportunity, and lovely to meet all of the shareholders by video conference.
Fantastic. Look, all the best with your new role, and I'm sure I speak for all investors when we say we look forward to seeing strong progress under your leadership. Thanks for joining me, everyone. All the best, and have a great day.
Thanks, Alex.